What is aquaponics? Aquaponics is simply a closed system where plants are grown in water without soil. Nutrients are provided by fish byproducts. The water is cleaned via bacteria and plant roots. The byproducts are converted into nutrients by naturally occurring bacteria. The bacteria need a place to live within the system. They live in a biofilter. They live in a biofilter like aquaponic substrate or gravel. The fish byproducts start as ammonia and are converted into nitrate by the nitrosomes. Those are a naturally occurring bacteria. Nitrobacteria convert that nitrite into nitrate, which this is called the nitrogen cycle and is necessary for aquaponics to function. The whole system. In the end, it converts toxic waste into useful plant nutrients that no longer harms the fish or the plants. That probably leads you asking another question. Are there different kinds of aquaponic systems? How many different kinds are there? Well, the three major kinds of aquaponic systems are nutrient film technique, media bed, and
deep water culture.
Those are three different kinds. Once again, put them here, and here for you. Nutrient film technique uses the pump system to distribute water with all dissolved nutrients. We just talked about those delicious nitrates that those plant roots love to soak up. Past the plant root system in narrow channels. Media bed systems have the plant suspended in media such as expanded clay pebbles, lava rock, or gravel. Water The water with nutrients are pumped into the media beds. Okay, next. Last but not least is deep water culture system. It involves beds that are suspended. Cut that. Last but not least is the deep water culture system. This involves beds that suspend the plant roots within the water. It's the simplest and cheapest way to get started with aquaponics. Now that we've got you thinking about aquaponics system, there's probably another question that comes to your mind. What are the pros and cons of your system? Well, I'll tell you what are the pros and cons of your system. Here they are. So, I'm going to be referring to true. I forget I don't need to explain everything because I know. Okay. Giving myself some cut time. Now that we've got you, now that I've got you thinking about the different kinds of aquaponic systems, you're probably wondering about the pros and cons of each system. So I'll tell you. The first system in FT. I'll go through the pros and cons of each system, of one system, then move to the next. NFT. Low water nutrient consumption. This one has low water nutrient consumption, avoids the need to use lots of growing media, which can become costly. It's easy to see the root quality, which is so important to ensuring we don't stay alive. Cons. A failing pump can kill an entire crop within a few hours. And it doesn't work well with plants with large root systems. Or plants that need lots of support, like tomatoes and excusa. Next, MB. Relatively simple and inexpensive. Love that on the cheap. So important. Saving money. Suitable for all kinds of plants, from leafy greens to larger fruiting plants. Okay. And minimal cleaning is required. very important because so many of us are lazy. And you know what? We should not be changed for the world. Instead, we should make the world accommodate us. Anyways, now, getting to the cons of this. Okay, this style of system is not usually suitable for commercial processes. So if you're planning on starting an aquaponic farm, you probably won't be choosing this one. The media beds are heavy and require a robust system to keep them in place. DVC, accelerated growth thanks to superior uptake of nutrients and oxygen from the nutrient solution. Aerating the roots improves plant absorption and increases cell growth rate within the plants. Because the plants are submerged in deep water culture nutrients, there's no need for much fertilizer. That's a big plus. It's really cutting down on costs. Cons. If the air pump gets broken, there's a very small window to replace it. You might have to buy another air pump to keep, just in case, because within a few hours, all your plants could be dead, and the decay could end up poisoning your fish. If you are using a non-circulating deep water culture system, it's difficult to keep the temperature consistent. So you will need the water tends to get too hot from the submersible pump running continuously. So if you have a submersible pump and it runs continuously, that's going to take up a lot of In the modern world, many things are changing due to unstable practices being commonplace. These practices have gone on for far too long. Aquaponics offers a break from the usual unsustainable practices by using up to 90% less water than traditional agriculture, using no soil, and there's a much faster processing time. Aquaponically grown plants can grow in any climate. Starting an aquaponic garden can be a great project for families, individuals, and school classes. The process can be therapeutic and can foster community. If you would like to get started with your own aquaponic systems, here's what you would need to get started, and here's what you'll need to get started. Now, you only need about 6 things to get started, and it's pretty easy. It will take initial investment, obviously, and the list doesn't include plants or fish because that is specific to you. First, you'll need a tank. They come in various materials, plexiglass. Forget I said that. First, you'll need a tank. Then you'll need a media bed, which are used to grow the plants in. You may want to include a biofilter as well in order to circulate media beds are used to grow the plants in. You may want to include a biofilter as well. Biofilters, like we discussed earlier, is where the bacteria grows in some aquaponic systems, and those are very beneficial, naturally occurring bacteria that we need to, allow this whole process to happen. You may want to consider don't consider it, you need it. Forget what I said, I don't know why I said consider. You will need a water pump to circulate the water through the system, and to make sure that water pump is working, you will need an electrical system, obviously, and depending on the time of year, you will want a water heater or cooler to regulate the temperature. Once you have all that settled, you need to determine which plant and fish species goes best with your climate. It's best to work with within your parameters, within the environment. Maybe don't try to grow tropical stuff And even though it is in your house, it'll be much more costly to keep up the temperature. Say you live in Nebraska and you're trying to grow mango. What could wider adoption of aquaponics mean for the future? Aquaponics can use up to 90% less water than traditional agriculture. Like I stated earlier, plants grow much faster because the nutrients are like right there for the roots to suck up. Less soil erosion due to soil not being used. It will have time to recover. Plants have had a lot of like vegetables and stuff like that have been coming back through lab results with less nutrients than before, and that's because of the soil erosion that's happening at a massive, insane rate. Because before we would, with agriculture within our little communities, we would, migrate, move around a bit so that the soil had time to recover. But it doesn't, because we have big corporate farms in one spot, and it's just there, and that's the problem. And it can be done in any climate. If you live in, say, Antarctica, which you don't, most likely, but say you do, I'll change that. Say you live in Alaska, and you can't plant stuff outside. You can have an aquaponics system. It'll be pretty costly to keep up with the heat, but you can have an aquaponics system and grow fruits and veggies inside. I don't know about you, but all those benefits sound amazing. Why should aquaponics be mandatory? Learning and participating in aquaponics class can foster community among students. They will learn about collaboration in a real-world situation. They will learn about and how to use tools they can use to their advantage in their personal lives and for the future. Sustainability will become an important aspect in their thought processes, which results in a more sustainable future due to the people responsible for it thinking in a sustainable way. When people treat sustainability as a secondary concept, an idea that's non-essential, we get a world like the one we have today.